Welcome to Be the Change. So, today I have a wonderful guest. Before I introduce my guest, who's already in the other side of my screen, having a beautiful smile. First, let me talk to her, and then I introduce to her while you guys join in, and also people who are bought after I podcast this show. You can also, connect with her because she's a wonderful writer and many things. Let's discuss all that in the flow of the show. Now, first thing is Soumya Bharathi. How are you, Soumya?
I'm fine, Jyoti. Thank you so much for inviting me. I was going
Yeah,
through the list of women who have you have interviewed, and they are very wonderful, illustrious women, and I feel privileged that you invited me. Thank you.
I feel very happy to talk to women who are trying something to do because they have trying to achieve something. And my first question to you, Soumya, is that people change their designations depending, matlab, change their professions. Let's talk like that. They change their professions in some time. So, were you initially a writer or did you become a writer or the author or whatever after some time? Maybe did you take a break from your career, or how this transformation happens, Soumya?
Actually, I have been a closet writer since childhood, if I may say
Oh.
so. I have been writing since my childhood, but most of my writings till a certain stage in my life were very private. I used to do journaling and I used to write a diary, and whenever I had been overwhelmed with some kind of emotion, I was an
Mm-hmm.
introvert. So I always
Mm-hmm.
sought writing as
Oh.
a vent, and that continued throughout my life. It still continues. But I have done my dentistry and then I have done my surgery. So
Mm-hmm.
life happened. I did my graduation. I did my post graduation, and
Mm-hmm.
in all this, I continued writing privately. Uh, the poems or anecdotes from life and all that. What happened after I became a mother is that I had this urge to share whatever I had written to
Okay.
with other mothers probably, because
Mm-hmm.
motherhood was so overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
So and then my husband is an influence because he also writes, and he had two
Mm-hmm.
successful blogs when we were married.
Okay.
Until then, I never thought of blogging as a profession
Mm-hmm.
or even as an option to publish. What
Okay.
happened when I started talking to my husband is he made it look accessible to people. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he said it is very easy to just open an account and, do blogging. So I thought, let me give it a try. And I started blogging around 2008. So
Mm-hmm.
I continued blogging, not very often, but rarely. I used to publish whatever I felt like till
Mm-hmm.
2015. And then I
Mm-hmm.
came across
Mm-hmm.
this platform called Momspresso,
Mm-hmm.
which had mommy bloggers. So I started
Mm-hmm.
writing in that. Then
Mm-hmm.
I started writing in women's wear.
Mm-hmm.
When I published for the first time in women's web, it was
Mm-hmm.
for a fiction story writing contest called Muse of the Month.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It was we had to write a story based on the theme that they would give us.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time I wrote it, I won the contest,
Wow.
and I felt very good. And even in Momspresso, the kind of response I got for my blogs from
Mm-hmm.
the readers and from the editors, it was very encouraging.
Wow.
So by this time, I had finished my post graduation and I was pregnant with my second child. So I made a
Mm-hmm.
conscious decision to take a career break
Mm-hmm.
and continue with writing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it was kind of an organic switch that happened.
Okay.
So it was not planned at all.
Okay.
Just one thing led to another, and I started writing in more places. I got more positive feedback, and then I
Mm-hmm.
self-published 2 books.
Mm-hmm.
So that also received a positive feedback, and then I said, okay, let me take this seriously because
Mm-hmm.
this is giving me great joy.
Mm-hmm.
So that is when around 2018-19 I started taking writing seriously. So
Oh.
that is how it happened.
Very nice, very nice. So, uh, people who are joining us now and who will watch our show after we broadcast, let me talk about Soumya Bharathi. She writes for Women's Web, and she's also a writer in Mom's Expressos, and she's also writes for Film Companion. She's also a dentist, by the way, and she's an award winner of Orange Flower Award winner, and she writes anthologies by four book Wolf books. So she's doing so many things in writing. I think writing has become now more than a profession, a passion for her, and it happens when you are doing it from childhood. So it's nice to know. Now, what was that thing which made you? You were talking about being an introvert and you started to write. So, are you more of a fiction writer or a non-fiction writer, or how is it? You are, or a particular thing you narrow yourself to a particular kind of content, like on motherhood or on anything like particular thing, or you are vulnerable to many things and you write different things. How is it?
What comes naturally and organically to me is poetry, to be honest.
No.
It comes naturally to me. I don't have to try at all.
Okay.
I like blogging about motherhood and
Okay.
about women in
Mm-hmm.
particular, and
Mm-hmm.
um, basically the thoughts of a woman, a normal Indian woman.
Mm-hmm.
Those things come naturally to me. Fiction
Mm-hmm.
is something that I have developed over time. I,
Mm-hmm.
fiction is not something that I have a natural inclination for, but I like writing fiction because it is far more creative than blogging.
Correct.
So
Correct.
I enjoy writing fiction too, but
Mm-hmm.
fiction requires effort. It requires focus and it requires trial and error and a lot of learning.
Correct.
It is a craft. Fiction is a craft. So is blogging.
Very
But poetry is something that comes naturally. I write whatever comes to my mind. So these
true.
are the things that I write about.
So would you like to share one of your favorite poetry which you have near you or which is in your mind or whatever? Even if it's just 3 lines or 4 lines on something.
Um, I haven't written a 3 line or a 4 line poetry.
But if you
um,
have a longer one,
I-
then also it's fine because
it's
it's nice
fine.
to hear
Okay.
poetry. Yeah.
Shall I read a poem that actually got me the award?
Yeah, yeah, sure. It'll be fantastic. We'll be
Yeah.
online
Uh,
if you can get it.
yeah. Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
switch off
Just
your
give me a
yeah,
minute.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Give me a minute. I actually
Yeah.
kept it ready. So, uh,
So it's nice to see Soumya. She's getting ready to read us her poetry, which won her the Orange Flower Award. Fantastic. So we are going to listen to the poetry. Yeah.
okay. This poem is basically about 3 generations of women who are in the process of discovering themselves or who have discovered their own personalities and their own struggles and trials and tribulations in life.
Okay.
So, this is called the broken mirror.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a metaphor which means something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, on I'm going to read the poem. So,
Please.
on her 16th birthday, she received a special gift. The woman who had given birth to her now deceased mother placed on the palm of her hand an antique mirror, fine ornamental work covering its edges, its center magnificently broken. She clasped it tightly, peering at 100 reflections of herself. It is your mother's, her grandmother's sea green eyes deepened with sorrow unfathomable. At some point, these reflections, all of which are you, will start a battle with each other, she said. Don't give in or give up like your mother. She now held the broken mirror to her only granddaughter. The identity you seek need not be between these pieces of broken glass. But don't stop looking either. These reflections come together like an optical illusion. Train your eyes to seek that which is not apparent even in you. Decades later, that young girl caught a hint of her late grandmother staring back at her from her broken mirror.
Wonderful, wonderful, Soumya. It was very, very nice, very thought process. And when you're reading it out, I can actually visualize what's happening, and that's the kick of it. Now, Soumya, do you also teach people who want to write? If somebody who's a newcomer and who has many thoughts, but they don't know to write poetry as such, you know so would you teach them if somebody approaches you?
If somebody approaches me, I would be open to, but I have not been approached till now for any teaching. But if somebody approaches me, I would be more than willing to help because I like helping writers because a lot of writers have helped me, to be honest.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's great to listen, because I'm asking this question because after the show, maybe a couple of people might approach you for, actually writing, because some people are good in expressing, but once they sit to write, they don't know how to start and how to end. you
Yeah,
know
yeah,
so anybody who wants to connect with her, even after this show, you can connect with her. I have tagged her all the details in the
yeah,
Facebook. You can connect with her on FB, and she'll be available, and you can ask her how to write and how to blog also. People who want to do blogging, you can start connecting with her, and she will take, if she gets good number of people, she'll also take good workshops in future and helping many people. So Soumya, so what was that one change which happened to you during pandemic? Because many people have gone through a lot of changes. What was that one change happened?
One personal change I would say is that I became acutely aware of the inequalities in this world. I have stopped taking my privilege for granted. I understand that we carried on with life, working from home. The children were studying from home. I understand that there are a lot of people in India who could not do it during the pandemic, and no matter how much help went out there, it was never enough. I felt so. I personally pledged, took a pledge to help a lot more people to my capability because the during the pandemic we acutely felt that inequality really.
Yeah, yeah, that's very thoughtful, because till now nobody said this thing to me. Whomever I have interviewed after pandemic, around I've interviewed 250 people, especially women, and none of them said what you said. Everybody
Oh
were
no,
talking about their
I
changes.
yeah, a lot of changes happened personally also, but I became acutely aware of how little I had done to help others. That was the greatest awareness.
Good, good. Really, really thoughtful, This is making me also to think. And one of the people who are watching our show said a lovely poem. Yeah, it's a lovely poem. You guys can,
Thank you.
listen to once comes a podcast, you can rewind and watch the show, the poem, what she has, read for us. Now, Soumya, when we are talking about writing, is
Mhm.
that you get inspired by a particular people around you, or is just an inspiration which you feel, or as you said, is it a journaling of your thoughts? Now I just want to understand, see, I am not a non-fiction writer. I write, but it's all fiction,
Mhm.
but when it comes to non-fiction, how do people think? That's something which, because you don't have any thought process and you're writing, especially when you're saying the poetry or something like, you're writing about this particular thing, even for your about mom and your experiences. So do you fill it specially with randomly and then rewrite it? How is it? How is the process of writing when it comes to you?
Um, I can only talk about my process.
Yeah,
And
that's what. Yeah.
My process is that I usually get an idea. Maybe it
Mm-hmm.
just maybe a word or a line,
Mm-hmm.
and I keep thinking about it and developing it in my mind for a very long time. Sometimes it is
Mm-hmm.
even a month or a two, or maybe longer also.
Mm-hmm.
So it keeps developing in my mind, like, it can go this way, it can go that way, and I can, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
um, I keep thinking about it, and
Mm-hmm.
at one particular point, I get into a flow where sentences start flowing in my mind. That then I start jotting down. I
Wonderful.
feel that I personally feel that writing comes from somewhere. Mhm.
Very
I
nice.
feel that it is not completely yours. It is coming somewhere from the universe. You just need to catch it, give those words. So,
So
um,
wonderful.
but when it doesn't come organically, when you're given a topic and you need to write about that topic, then I generally spend a lot of time thinking about the topic, and then I start jotting it down. But it is different for different writers. I have seen writers writing whatever comes to their mind first and then refining it, but it doesn't work for me that way. I usually start writing when I have great clarity on the topic.
Yeah. Everybody should excuse me. My voice is very bad because of sore throat from couple of days.
I hope you're
One
all
of
right.
the yeah, yeah, I'm fine. So someone has text again saying that you should conduct workshops. Yes, that's what I was suggesting her. So you should conduct workshops online or offline also, because it will help many people to write who have thought process but they don't know how to put it in words. So Samya, now what gives you happiness when it comes to writing? Is it writing on blogs, or is it writing like for a book? What brings you happiness?
Actually, to be honest, it's the process of writing. Writing anything is the very process is very joyous. And then when you put it out in public and somebody says, "Oh, I can relate to that," or "Oh, this touched me," then it gives you great joy that people are connecting. But the very process of writing is joyous in the sense, it is like, uh, to give you an analogy, it is like painting.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
the process of painting, the process of putting the colors on the canvas and transferring whatever is there in your mind on the canvas. So
True.
it's the same here. Transferring whatever is there in your mind into words and sentences that others can understand. That
Wonderful.
is the craft, actually.
True, true, true. So, coming back to your writing process and everything. Now, when you write, is it that it? You're saying it'll take a month, or is it? So, when can someone make this writing as a profession? Do you recommend? Because we have very few writers in women. Few, there are
Yes.
men very popular writers. There are very few women writers. I'm not saying they're not there, but when compared to men, there are very few women writers. And do you recommend someone to take this as a profession or a career? Because now I'm very particular on this, or blogging as a career, or writing for some or digital content writing as a career to make money also. End of the day, career means
Yeah,
मतलब पैसा भी कमाना है और नाम भी कमाना है. How is it?
yeah. Yeah, actually, I have discovered a lot about this in the last 3 or 4 years because I have joined a lot of Facebook groups that has
Mhm.
professional writers. And when
Mhm.
I mean writers, it's all kinds, like,
Mhm.
journalists, fiction writers, non-fiction writers, bloggers. And I have
True.
realized that, yes, you can make it a profession and you can get paid well, very well.
Mhm. Mhm.
But all kinds of writing have their own markets. From my understanding, it is journalism which pays really well, and
Mhm.
especially the non-Indian publications. Indian publications don't pay so well,
True.
but
Mhm.
after joining the Facebook groups, I have realized that there are a lot of writers in India who are writing remotely from different parts of India and who earn as much as a very experienced software engineer,
Mhm.
um, because they choose the publications carefully, and they write content for publications that pay well. Other than that, self-publishing is another way of making money
Mhm.
by writing books. Again, this Indian writers, not many.
Mhm.
Non for No, I'm saying Indian audience readers, not many. But if you're writing for other countries and other markets,
Mhm.
you can earn well if you can manage to have those many reads in your Kindle, or
Mhm.
you can manage to have sales of books. But this generally is seen in particular genres, for example, romance or thrillers,
Mhm.
or horror. These are the genres which have readers. If you are writing for a very niche genre, then it is difficult to sell.
Mhm. Mhm.
Another way is content writing, obviously. Content writing,
Mhm.
again, you need to look for particular content writing jobs, and then
Mhm.
it is a lucrative career too. But to get anywhere, you need to have that head start, and you need to develop your craft. That is the most important thing. If you do, I feel that youngsters are not aware of it, but writing can be a lucrative career if it is taken seriously. That is what I have
Yeah,
learned.
very true. And another one question is that, uh, since I've been into psychology also, I've seen that journaling and writing has helped people are not very expressive, who are going through stress or some kind
Yeah.
of mental stress or some kind of thing. Is that true? Do you also seen some people who feel that, after writing what they feel, they come out of that kind of stress or that kind of things? Do you also find something like that, when because you're all over in many groups, you've seen many women or men writing, so do you feel that in your peer groups?
Yes, yes, I have gone through this personally also. When I was
Mm-hmm.
going through a low phase in my life,
Mm-hmm.
I was actually going through some sort of a postpartum depression, and I felt that, writing really helped.
Mm-hmm.
One thing is writing, especially journaling, gives you a lot of clarity because if you're going to put your thoughts into words,
Mm-hmm.
you're thinking deeply about a subject. When you think deeply
Mm-hmm.
about a subject, you obviously discover a lot of things about
Mm-hmm.
yourself too that help in the process of healing. And the second thing is, I feel that, self expression is always a good way.
Mm-hmm.
If you can vent your feelings, even if it is,
Mm-hmm.
like something negative like anger or bitterness, if you can just write it down on paper and put it out there, then it gives you some kind of a relief, I feel. So I do believe that, writing is therapeutic. It is, and even for people who don't have natural tendency to write, I feel that it can be therapeutic.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's fantastic thought process, Soumya, because it's like a therapy, as you said.
Mm.
Many psychologists recommend to write. So before we end this show, one final question I want to ask you is, what do you want to say to the women of today who are in the middle age, like, who are struggling to be a good mother, good homemaker, good professional, who want to make their mark in the society or for themselves? you know they're trying to be good and trying to do everything perfect, but sometimes they cannot do it because you're trying to please many people and you end up not
Mm.
doing perfection in
Mm.
everything.
Mm.
What do you
Mm.
want to tell to the so-called the middle age crisis now, which is happening, which was not there when when our parents were like, I've never heard my mom or my aunt's complaining that I'm like this, I'm like that, I'm doing so much, nobody cares about me, or something like that. But unfortunately, we have been doing that. We are trying to please everybody, we are trying to do everything good, which doesn't happen, and then we feel, pity, self pity mode comes in within us. So, what do you want to say to the women of today, especially the middle aged women who have kids, who are in the middle age, who are 30 plus? What do you want to tell to them?
Firstly, I would say that, as Indian women, we operate with a lot of subconscious conditioning, I feel.
Mm.
Subconscious conditioning that we should be this kind of a daughter, this kind of daughter-in-law, this kind of wife, this kind of mother, this kind of a professional. There is a lot of subconscious conditioning happening.
Mhm.
And I have lately discovered, last 4 5 years, I have discovered that, most of the stress comes from that subconscious conditioning.
Oh.
Because we try to work according to our own conditioning. Like, we should be this way, we should dress this way, we should behave this way, we should talk this way. Also, like, right now, a lot of us feel that, we should work this way, we should have this kind of career, we should have this kind of personal life. There is a
Hmm.
lot of expectations. And I feel that, one of the best things that you can do for yourself is to filter out all that conditioning and think what makes you happy. I feel
Wonderful.
that, that is the most important thing. If you can filter all the conditioning and all the preconceived notions and just think about what you want to do as a person,
Mm-hmm.
I feel that, that is the most important thing, and that is what will make you happy at the end of the
Hmm.
day. So I feel, what I would say to all the women, just discover yourself. Give yourself
Discover
more time.
yourself.
Yeah, give yourself more time and filter out all the conditioning and just see what makes you happy.
Oh, very nicely said. you didn't, I don't know you studied psychology or not, but some way you connected to it that women think subconsciously to be perfect. Very nicely said, Soumya. So you can connect with Soumya, and she will help you in poetry or writing, it whether it is fiction or non-fiction. She'll just give you an idea if somebody wants to do. And I would recommend, Soumya to very soon start some workshops online also. So, many
Thank
people
you.
can
I will
benefit out of
certainly.
it. You should start maybe a weekend workshop, promote it for a week or so, and then you can get people to, learn from you. That's something you should do it, because many people cannot express, and this will help them personally. They don't have to write blogging or anything like that. At least they'll understand how to journal what they feel. Such kind of workshops will help for many people. And thank you so much. And I'm looking forward for another interaction with you on another topic, another day. And very soon we'll connect. And it's very nice to connect with people who have that kind of thought process to helping others. Thank you so much, Soumya. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much, Jyoti. I really feel privileged to be on your show. To be really honest, I saw the lineup of people. This is my daughter.
Hi, hi,
I
hi.
saw that.
She can come on the screen and just say hi to all if she's nearby.
Say hi.
Say
Say hi.
hi.
Yeah.
Hi. What's your name?
What's your
What's
name?
your name?
Yeah. Come and say.
Yeah,
Unnati.
Unnati.
Yeah.
Very
Mm,
nice. Yeah.
I really enjoyed your show.
Thank
I
you.
saw the lineup of women who were interviewed, and you're doing a wonderful job.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much for calling me.
No, I was overwhelmed to see your writings, and then I connected with you, because I always encourage women who are writers there, because I always feel that it's somewhere women writers are being, degraded or lowered, or, they're not coming up. So I always feel that wise beyond her years. So, yeah, she's very wise beyond her years.
Thank
That's
you.
true.
Thank you.
Someone has commented on that. So you can connect with her and, do a workshop which will start very soon. Or if you want to connect with her on blogging or journaling, you can connect with her. Thank you so much for joining. Have a wonderful evening. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.